In our school days, as those underground lovers, the teacher has a policy, and students have ways of getting around them. But that professional informant, the teacher's pet, would stop first love in its path. So, in a vastly populated and geographically sparse land, a nation with significant geographical differences, whether or not Zhang Nanhai's voice can be heard across the entire nation, whether or not the state of policy and countermeasures is to continue, this is when the working team dispatch mechanism becomes that teacher's pet, but this informant has positive value. The working group has many names. In the Qin and Han dynasties, they were called prefectural governors. In the Tang dynasty, they were called censorants. In the Qing, they were again renamed to provincial governors, but their modern names are much easier to remember. Work team, supervision team, examination team, investigation team, and inspection team. Each of these are literal in meaning, understood at a glance. As early as 1933, Deng Xiaoping, in his capacity as an inspector, was dispatched to the Southern Village Council in the remote area of Le'an County, looking at the land reform since the founding of the nation. The work group collected insights into land from farmers, and on the basis of this, carried out the land reforms with leadership and order to the end. The communization movement and socialist education movement both entailed the mass deployment of working groups, but let's leave that for now. Oh, how did we forget one of the most important working groups? During the state-owned enterprise reform of the 1990s, the State Council deployed large numbers of inspection groups to over 500 large industrial enterprises. Additionally, the working group model has been used in various emergency situations. For example, the water pollution of the Songha River, the Shanghai Stampede incident, and others. Following the occurrence of critical situations, the supervising authority dispatches incident resolution groups, investigation groups, and special case groups. So, how are working groups created and why? Working groups are flexible, created on demand, and comprised of many departments. They most often involve the deployment of parent bodies to lower-level ones. Working groups are deployed in accordance with the attachment of important specific policies by the leadership, the explanation and promotion of the contents of these policies to lower levels, and of course, they can use their influential authority to push forward the implementation of policy. At the same time, the working groups often undertake part-time work, running projects, raising funds, and developing technology for lower levels. We needn't say too much about their devotion. Participation in working groups is a technical skill with various roles and identities. Solving various issues through professionalism, who's the one? The National Inspection and Supervision Team is second to none. From 2013, the efforts of a series of working groups saw, within the first 3 rounds of a total 5, the capture of 19 provincial-level tigers, not to mention the mass-scale swatting of flies, met with the cheers of the people across the nation. So what are the 4 points of strength of that National Inspection and Supervision Team? Violate discipline or law, arrest. Violate the National 8-point rule spirit, arrest. Violate political discipline, arrest. Bad practice and corruption, arrest. No wait, just throw away. Now, let's take a sharp turn. How many steps does it take to put the tigers in a fridge? Oh, no, to get them in a cage. First, discover the problem. Second, reflect on it. Third, push forward resolution. Discovering the problem requires the collection of information. Reflecting on the problem entails passing on the issue and suggestions to the party policy head in the area being surveyed. But the inspection team cannot intervene in the regular work of the surveyed area or unit. Do not investigate the case. So the last step is not to resolve the issue, but to push forward resolution of this issue. In addition, the inspection team can expand its supervision and inspection within appropriate means at any time. So, is the working team system really perfect? No, of course. There are shortcomings among working teams as they stand. For example, the relationship between some working teams and their lower-level leadership might be… you know what I mean. Additionally, the deployment of work groups certainly increases the cost of governance. This is not of such concern, but if the higher levels always provide assistance and the lower levels degrade in performance, eventually, the working group model might experience a disconnect between form and content. Or, in a word, one thing on the surface, but another in reality. Even if the working group system is still on a difficult path of self-improvement and discovery, with the strengthening of local governance, contact with the masses, efficiency of information channels connecting local and central governments, the working groups have already become indispensable.